Chapter 13. Sandra washed the wounds carefully, and as she worked on them, Chink slipped into the peacefulness of sleep. He tossed and turned but didn't wake up. She worked faster now, but there was only so much she could do. She realized that if she wanted Chink to live, she'd have to have a doctor for him. But where could she possibly get a doctor? And she couldn't stop the bleeding. Bleeding from the wound in his chest had stopped, but the stomach wound wouldn't. After she had him cleaned up, she sat on the floor beside Chink's prone figure. He slowly opened his eyes. "Sandra, Sandra," he said, his voice sounding stronger as he talked. "I ain't gonna make it, baby," he stated. She clutched his hand to her chest. "Don't say such things, Chink. You'll make it, honey, if I can get a doctor for you." Chink shook his head. "That's death, baby. I don't want no doctor, honey. I mean that. If you get one, it will cause too much trouble. I got you in enough trouble already. If a doc comes, you'd have to hold a gun on him and make him take the bullets out. And I don't think he could do it here. Now listen, baby. I don't plan on going to no hospital, 'cause I don't want to end up spending the rest of my days in a prison. You hear, Sandra? I mean it, baby. I'd rather die than be locked up for the rest of my days, baby. I'm too young, honey. I couldn't adjust to prison life. I can't stand the bars. I damn near went crazy when I was locked up this time. The camp was all right, but not the county jail, honey. I mean it. I can't stand the bars." He dropped back to the floor, holding his stomach. "Chink, Chink," she cried. "You want me to get you on a bed, Daddy? Maybe it would be more comfortable," she said, crying all the time. He managed to shake his head. "Baby, the floor is cool. I mean it. I slept on one all my life, damn near. So it's only right that I die on one." "You ain't gonna die, Daddy! You just ain't!" she screamed. He tried to smile at her. "It ain't nothing we can do about it, Sandra." He reached up and rubbed her cheek. "Baby, I wish you would leave. Ain't no way you can be really tied in with the killing, except that you picked me up on the highway, and there ain't no way for them to prove that, unless you say something about it," he warned. "Listen now, baby. When I'm gone, the police are gonna give you a hard time. But if you do like I say, you can come from under it. It might be hard on you for a while, but they'll have to cut you loose, baby." "What about you, honey? What about you, Chink?" she asked, crying. "Don't worry about me. My life is finished, honey. I ain't never gonna leave this apartment alive. I can feel it, baby. I mean it. I'm above and beyond the reach of the police now, honey." He answered her slowly. As he held her hand, he slipped back into the black recesses of unconsciousness. As she stared down at his silent form, she wondered if she could slip out and go for a doctor. She knew where a black doctor was. If she took a pistol along, she believed she could force him to come along. She had almost made up her mind to go when he regained consciousness. "For a minute I thought you had left me," he said, as soon as he was awake. "Please don't leave me, Sandra. Please don't go for no reason. Not until after I'm gone. Will you promise me that, honey? Please." She stared down into his face. The tears running down her cheeks fell on his upturned face. She dropped her head down on his chest, crying silently. The sobs escaped from her slowly at first, but then became louder. He managed to raise his hand and stroke her hair. "Don't cry, baby. Ain't nothing to cry about. Think about all the good things we had together. Don't think about the worst, just the good. I'm just glad to be here with you, Sandra. Ain't nothing promised us, but we do have these few minutes together. Help me to cherish them, honey. Don't waste them crying." She fought back the tears. "I've got to be brave," she told herself over and over again. She raised her head and smiled down at him. "I understand, Daddy. I really do." He grinned and tried to sit up. "Don't do that, Daddy," she cautioned as she saw the look of pain dash across his face. "Just relax. Don't strain yourself." She leaned down and kissed his cheek, then kissed him softly on the lips. "Put something on the box, baby," he asked her quietly. She glanced away, not wanting to remind him that the men had taken the record player when they robbed her. She got up and went over and put on the small radio that they had left behind. She found a good station playing the latest in soul music and left it there. Chink didn't seem to notice the difference the radio made, or else he didn't mention it. Sandra glanced around for something to put under his head. Everything had been removed as far as the pillows and bedding. She balled her sweater up and put it under his head. Slowly she washed away the bleeding, which seemed to be flowing faster. Again, she had to fight back tears as she tried unsuccessfully to stop the flow of blood. "What can I do? What can I do?" The thought ran through her mind. Now that he had made her promise not to leave, her hands were tied. There was no way she could go for a doctor now without breaking her word to him. If she left and he awoke and found her gone, he might just die while she was gone. If that happened, she would never be able to forgive herself. She would have missed his last moments alive, and she had come to accept the fact that he was going to die. There was nothing she could do about it except stay beside him and make his passing as easy as possible. One thing she promised herself: she would never let them take him alive. No, that she couldn't allow. For him to wake up in a prison ward was something she wouldn't allow to happen. A thought flashed across her mind. Chink, suppose I take you to a doctor's office and hold a gun on him until after he's closed your wounds. Then, Daddy, we might have a chance. We got the car. All we need is a running chance. With your wounds took care of right, you wouldn't have to think about dying. Hey, baby, let's be for real. There would be nurses to keep away from a phone. We'd need at least 2 good men with guns to hold off everybody. Chink reached up for her and she slipped down beside him. I can dig where you're coming from, but it just won't work. Why have my precious time wasted in a fruitless shootout, baby, when I can spend it so nicely with you? He kissed her, a tender kiss that expressed all his love. Slowly he wiped the tears from her eyes. Honey, Sandra began, I was only thinking about tomorrow. If we could get you together, Daddy, I believe we could make it. She felt in her heart that it was true. She decided to try again. Nothing imagined could be too wild. Honey, I even believed that we could rip off a plane and go to Cuba or something. But don't give up on me. I'll go down with you all the way, Daddy. I mean it. I don't care what we have to do. Just tell me what, and I'll go along with the program. What could he say? How could you tell a woman that you love that the program is over? He'd never make it to the airport, and then she'd be alone. What good would he be if something started, and he couldn't even stand up alone? Sandra, listen, honey, he began. There ain't never been no doubt in my mind about whether or not you would go along with the program. You've been doing that ever since you became my woman. It ain't about that, baby. I wish it was some way I could make you understand. Nothing in this world could make me any happier than I am right now, holding you in my arms. He started to cough, and Sandra sat up. Chink, can I get you something? Maybe some water or something? She stared at him anxiously. He managed to control the coughing. Can you get me anything? He rubbed her arm slowly. Yes. If I could. There would be time enough for me to spend another night in your arms. If you could give me that, Sandra. If I make it up until tonight, let me sleep in your arms. She grinned and got up. She reached down and tried to raise him. It's night now, honey. Let me put you to bed. He caught on to her meaning and struggled to rise. As the pain flooded through him, he thought about holding her again, in a lover's embrace. Somehow she managed to get him on his feet. With all his weight across her shoulders, she dragged him to the bedroom. Slowly she undressed him, taking each piece off slowly so that it wouldn't hurt him. Darling, you'd make a beggar's dream come true, he said tenderly from the bed. He lay back and drifted off into the foggish world of fever. He tossed and turned, moaning out. He imagined himself in the rear of the pool room where he had grown up. He was trying to sleep, but it was cold. The floor under him didn't seem to have any heat to it. He remembered slipping into the kitchen and trying to turn on the kitchen stove. Being too young to know how to light a fire, he had just turned on the knobs, like he saw his father do. Then he had stretched out on the floor next to the stove. In what seemed like minutes, he remembered the light feeling that came to his head. He was about to slip off into sleep when he heard his father curse, then come running into the kitchen. The old man had slapped his face, then took him outside where he was made to walk and walk. He could still remember the biting cold that set in once he was awake, and his father's drunken ignorance. His father walked him until early daylight, and he remembered that he prayed that he would never get that cold again. Now he could feel the cold setting in. Sandra, Sandra, he called out. Suddenly he felt something cold on his head, and he tried to brush it away. Take it easy, Daddy. Take it easy, she cautioned as she continued to wipe the sweat off his brow. Please, honey, please. The cold. I'm so cold. Take it away, please, he begged. Quickly, Sandra removed the face cloth. Then she took off all of her clothes except her panties and bra. She slipped under the cover next to him and wrapped her arms around his body. The flow of blood from his wound didn't disturb her, even though she could feel the warm blood on her stomach. She only gripped him tighter. Is that any better? She asked, praying that her body brought him the warmth he sought. The cold is better, honey. he replied, holding her even closer. They lay like that, giving comfort to each other as the day began to slip away. From her he drew strength, and from him she drew faith.